And this is Auntie. And I am here to do my review of Love After Lockup, Season 2, Episode 22, Big Daddy's Home. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To all of my nieces and nephews and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate last night's episode of Love After Lockup, I would give it a C. It was just okay, and there were some highlights, but typical, typical, typical. And unfortunately, your auntie was right about her prediction last week, and we will get into that. Show enough, show enough. So, the first couple that I want to talk about is Brittany and Marcelino. As we all know, last week we saw Brittany's mother at the motel, and she was indicating that she wanted some help. Brittany's mother doesn't want any help, in my opinion. She was just talking really to her daughter and telling her exactly what she wanted to hear. Brittany goes home to Marcelino and tells Marcelino that she feels like, if she doesn't help her mother, that she'll regret it. And Marcelino is telling her that I don't want that in my children's life. And that is absolutely understandable from Marcelino's perspective, because they have been going through this with Brittany's mother for years and she has not changed. Marcelino gave his mother an ultimatum and she changed her life, because his mother too, was, I believe, abusing drugs. And he gave her an ultimatum, and then mother changed, and Brittany said that's because your mama loved you and wanted to have a relationship with you. And while I think that Brittany mother wants to have a relationship with her, she wants to do it on her terms. And so Marcelina was saying, I don't want my kids growing up and being in that lifestyle, or seeing her, continuously falling off the wagon and all of that kind of stuff. Those kids don't need to see that. And I agree with him for once, okay? Because I usually don't agree with anything that Marcelino has to say. But in this instance, I do agree with Marcelino. I think that if Brittany's mother really wants to get help, she will get the help that she so desperately is indicating that she wants. She's saying, how did you do it? She knows how to do it. I'm sure she's gotten pamphlets and all kinds of, you know what I mean? If you want to do something, you will do it. And, I just don't believe that this is something that she wants to do. But anyway, so we move on from them, right? And we go to the next couple. The next couple is Amber. A puppy is on her way home. They weren't expecting it. And Puppy's on her way home. And Amber is excited about it. Puppy wants a drink. And Amber said that she's going to put it in the glove compartment for her. And her mother is like, excuse me, y'all. I think I drank too much iced tea today. I've been guzzling iced tea. But anyway. And so, her mother is excited about her coming home, but she's, kind of feeling some kind of way about the relationship with Amber. The mother said that she doesn't have a bed or a room prepared for Puppy. And Amber says, well, she can sleep with me. And the mother really doesn't want Puppy to get into a relationship, but it's too little too late for that. These girls were in a relationship when they were incarcerated together. So I don't see either one of them doing anything different than what they were doing when they was laid up and, in the cell together. So I think that, all three of them being out today is a recipe. It's just a recipe for disaster. It's it just don't look good, right? And anytime that they are going to bring them back, the producers decided to bring them back and to film it, we know that it's going to be, some stuff, some drama and stuff like that going on. I'm hoping that Amber is able to, keep her sobriety, not use drugs, not get hung up with all of this stuff that it seems like her mother and Puppy may be doing, because Puppy's mother indicated that she came home before and that she was only out for what, 2 weeks, I think the mother said. So this could really be disastrous. And I'm just hoping that it's not, right? Because it's too much. Speaking of coming home, Big Daddy is home. John is home and out of jail. He was picked up by one of his good friends who has his lady with him. And he said that this lady is helping him to keep himself together. But John wants to find out why our girl Lacey turned on him. And so, I think that it's more than that. Of course, he thought that he was going to have this loving and this long relationship with with Lacey, but of course that wasn't in the cards. John mentioned that Lacey gets tired, when she's in a relationship, she gets tired of men. And I absolutely agree with that. She indicated, we saw her in the kitchen, with her kids. Now we know when she met Shane, she already had 3 children. But she mentioned in the conversation with the producers that it's hard for her because she's doing raising these 3 children on her own, and that she's pregnant, barefoot and pregnant, and it's just too much. And I'm thinking to myself, you had 3 kids when you joined with him. So I mean, this is just what you should be doing, right? You were the one who made a decision to have these 3 children. And she complains about Shane being at work, but I'm just like, okay, so what were you doing prior to Shane when you were dating 2 men? Okay, now when we met Lacey, Lacey was already dating 2 incarcerated men, John and Shane. So she's been doing this for a long time. She said, you really can't have your freedom. Freedom means have sex, I guess, with everybody, okay? Because she's, now with child. Shane is excited about it. He's hoping that he has a boy because he said he wants to experience fishing with him and all this kind of stuff. And he wants to name the baby after him. But he said he doesn't want a little girl because he doesn't know about panties and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, boy, you got years before you have to worry about that. And trust and believe, if she's got this little girl, you're going to be good to go. Okay? I don't think that Lacey is a bad parent, right? I mean, we don't have any evidence of it, so I would never say that she was a bad parent. I just think that she's a bad girlfriend and a bad wife and, all that kind of stuff. Because when they were at the house, John was like, there she go right there, blowing me up. So, I mean, Lacey really got to get it together. She is just, she acts like to me like a nympho, all right? Like she just got to have a whole lot of men and a whole lot of. Okay, so that's what's going down with Lacey and them. So the next couple that I want to talk about is Michael and Sarah and Malcolm and the babies. Now, as we all know, last week Michael woke up at the same time he was supposed to be in court. He did not show up. And of course, they gave us this cliffhanger indicating that, not telling us whether or not he lost custody or anything. I predicted last week that she would drop it, okay? And that's exactly what that ass did. She indicated that the judge tried to call Michael. She tried to call Michael. And as a result of them not getting in contact with Michael, they wanted to make sure that Michael knew about it. And therefore, the judge issued a continuance. Bull. Okay, the only way that Michael would have been able to have a continuance is if he had a lawyer there that actually asked the judge for a continuance. Sarah dropped that book. And that's what I predicted last week, that this was all her doing. She stood up in front of that judge and told that judge, he's not here. I'm in love with him. And I just, I'm doing this for a show. She doesn't want the divorce. She doesn't want anything. She indicated that Michael asked for the divorce, and now Michael is mad because she with it. Let me tell you something. Michael is just doing what Michael wants to do with her. He already knows that he can jerk her around. He knows that regardless of what man she's dating, she is always going to be available to him. Michael knows that he can push any man out of the door, and he can toy and play around with her and have sex with her. He can frustrate her. He can treat her like trash. He can step over top of her. And at this point, she absolutely is deserving of everything that she's getting. I'm just like, take her for bad, take her money. I know I'm wrong. But when you allow somebody to treat you this way, why in the hell would I want anything different from you, from what you want? You want to be trampled on, disrespected. You want your children, baby daddy, to be in and out of their lives. You want your children to experience this. I don't know why you do, but you do. Because you allow it year after year of us watching this show. This is what you have proven that you want for this relationship with Michael. And it's so unfortunate because after a while, right now it's not cute, but it really ain't gonna be cute when those girls get older and they have these abandonment issues and a low expectation of what a man should be and what a father should be in their lives. You are allowing another man to come and sleep in your bed while you haven't even ended the relationship with the other man who doesn't want to sleep in your bed. The man who can call you and say, I'm coming over there, not a man who will ask you if I can come over. The respect level that he has for her is zero, bitch, to none. And the respect level and the esteem level of Sarah is zero to none. I saw a picture recently where she's lost over 100 pounds. She doesn't even look like the same person. But let me tell you something. In the inside of who she is who she is. I have some information from sources who are close to them that says she will fight any woman who is, fight and argue and disrespect any woman who she even thinks is with Michael or attracted to Michael. Why? You got a whole man. Now, I understand that there were allegations that Malcolm is an actor, okay? But still, if you're going to act it out, if you're going to act this out and play this cotton freaking role, like for real, Malcolm, you looking weak, like Michael said. And you are allowing this man, this is acting anytime you got two brothers in a household and Malcolm taking down and dapping him up because he a baby daddy. No, he not going to let nobody coming in and disrespect him like that. You talk about two brothers. Come on now. They not getting along. They're not going to see eye to eye. She's in the bedroom with Malcolm and they're talking about their relationship and Michael just walk up in that clam. Like, what man is going to allow somebody to just walk up in his camp like that? And then he's steady asking Sarah, are me and you good? It's obvious that y'all ain't good. It's obvious that Sarah, is totally addicted to Michael and just does not have the self-esteem of a llama being, bitch. And it's just so sad to see it. And then, she wants to speak black. She wants to look black. She wants to talk black. She wants, she just want to be black. And I'm just saying, just be who you are. Stop being fake and phony. Don't, make this about what you've lost in the past. Like, she trifling as. It's sickening to see her. It is sickening to see her because she is raising these little girls. And if she is the example of what they shall become, God help her. And then you allow this man who hasn't been in their life to just walk through the door and act as if, he been there the whole time to make your children available to him. Like this bitch will have some serious boundaries. There's no way that he would be able to come in and out of my house like that without some serious boundaries of how he's going to interact with my children. And Michael is saying, I ain't even worried about the thing. I'm not worried about the custody. She's telling Malcolm that, she basically wants them to have 50-50. So why wouldn't she ask for a continuous? Why wouldn't she drop the case altogether? Like, she's just such a phony, trifling, low down, good for nothing, low self esteem, having dragging her ass across the ground bitch. Like, there's so much more that I really want to say, but I've been trying to at least try to keep it a little bit cleaner. But I could drag this girl for filth all night long. The next person I could drag is Andrea. Tennyson last week indicated that he does not want to go on a 2-year mission because he is scared as hell about what is going to happen to his little sister, because the arguments are going on in the house and there's a whole bunch of conflict and confusion, deception, and just plain old trifling behavior. So Tennyson, who we have seen baptize his sister, be faithful to the Mormon church, has made a decision that all of that training that he's gotten over the years is worth nothing to him in comparison to the sanity and the safety of his sister. And Andrea doesn't see it. We see them sitting in the living room eating some noodles or whatever they were supposed to be eating. Lamar wasn't eating none of it because we know he had a burger. But they were, all sitting around and they were eating. And the kids was grateful that she had cooked. And I just was like, okay, evidently she ain't up in there cooking, because if it's something that you do all the time, you know what I'm saying? Okay, those of us that got kids. So anyway, the kids are talking and everything, and she's talking still about this mission. And so she asks, the little girl, Priscilla, how was your day at the beach with your father? And Priscilla said, we had fun. We met and we talked to. And she was like, you talked to who? And she was like, and so Lamar jumped in and was like, yeah, she talking about little Sebastian down at the beach, the ice cream man. He put all them sprinkles on there and all on her ice cream. And so, the little girl Priscilla was like, oh my God, I almost told, what happened. So, of course, we all know from last week, they met up with her sister Shantae, and Shantae told her, how to put her on the little tree, because she been walking around with her little notebook, right? Like Blue's Clues. And so, she's sitting there and she almost gives it up, and she almost gives it up because it's too heavy of a weight for a little child that young to carry. This little girl can't carry this secret. And Lamar was dead ass wrong for, even talking to the little girl at that level, because children cannot understand that. They know how it makes them feel, but they don't know how to articulate the pressures and the stress of holding a secret like that, right? So the little girl, is of course is riddled with guilt, because she is holding a secret away from her mama. And so while Lamar was incarcerated and doing what he was doing, she was taking care of her. It wasn't until recently that they revealed that this was indeed Lamar's daughter, and that they had while he was in jail. And so here you got this little girl with this secret on her. And so, they began to talk about Tennyson, going into, the service and going away for 2 years. And, everybody is telling her, you got to back off. You got to let him grow up. You got to let him be a man and all of that kind of stuff. And so, she feels like everybody is teaming up on her, and nobody's teaming up on her at all. But anyway, she feels like they're teaming up on her. And so she doesn't want to communicate anymore. And so the next time we see them, they talk about happy wife, happy life, and, why, Lamar was like, it means that I don't have any power in this relationship. And so, Andrea told him that, she loves him more than she's ever loved anybody before. So it is what it is. I mean, whatever. So the next thing we see is Andrea with this phony donation lemonade stand. She wants the children to have this lemonade stand, to stand outside and sell this lemonade, to the neighborhood, because she's called herself being, a disciple, okay? And she says, we're fellowshipping the neighborhood. Now, I've never heard that. I know that that is straight Ebonics, and it is not, it's not proper. But anyway. And so, Tennyson said he thinks this is the dumbest thing that they've ever done. And so, while they're out there, Priscilla now has all of this weight on her. So they was like, the sister was like, well, what do you have there? And she says, I have my little book with my family tree on it. And so she talks about, mommy and daddy, and then I got Tennyson, and then I got you, and then on this side I got my sister Shantae. So, of course, they both was looking a little crooked eye, and she began to tell them that, while they were at the beach, that her father had introduced her to her sister, and she spent time with her sister, but that her father told her that she couldn't tell anybody. And so she was like, please don't say anything about it. Please don't tell mom. And so, Tennyson and the sister was like, we got you. We got your back on this. But it was unfair for Lamar to do. Thank you so much for the membership. Thank you. Let me put my glasses on. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you. So, she, was basically, trying to talk to the little girl, and, comfort her. And Priscilla, being a little girl, she started crying, and she kind of like broke down and everything. And I just felt so bad for her, because Tennyson and the sister, they're absolutely correct. Lamar should never have put anything that heavy on that child. She can't maintain that. And it is going to get to the point where the mother is going, Andrea is going to find out about it. Thank you, Amy Solis, for the $2 super chat. Lamar should not have done that to Priscilla. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Amy, for the $2 super chat. Absolutely, he should not have done that to her, because that little girl, that's a lot of weight. And, she's being deceitful and is teaching deceit. And, although Andrea is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and we know that she is a hypocrite, in my opinion, she is trying to at least give them some kind of spiritual structure. And so with Lamar telling her that, it's counterproductive to what this girl is trying to, to what Andrea is trying to do with her children and rear them up, believing in something. Now, I wouldn't believe in it, but I mean, it is what it is, to each his own, right? So I just was like, it's just so unfortunate that, this little girl got this on her. And then she is going to tell. I don't think it's going to be Tennyson and the sister that's going to tell, but I believe she's going to tell. And Lamar said, she could kick and scream, and she can throw rocks and do whatever she wants, but it's not going to stop me from having a relationship with my daughter. But in my opinion, it already has, because when we met Shantae out there on the beach last week, Shantae was indicating that she still wasn't having a relationship that she wanted to have, excuse me, y'all, with him. So he hasn't, it doesn't appear that, okay, let me say that. It doesn't appear that he has been doing what he should be doing and what he was supposed to be doing. So anyway, let's see how this end up once Andrea find out about it. I know she gonna go cuckoo for Cocoa Pops simply because she's ignorant as hell, in my opinion. And two, she wants to make sure that she brings the drama to the screen. So the last couple that we're going to be talking about is Scott and Lindsey. As we all know, girl, Lindsey, girl, sit down for a minute. If you standing up, sit down. If you cooking, turn the eye off. I'm trying to tell you, if you're in the bathroom, go ahead on and keep doing what you need to be doing in that bathroom. But let me tell y'all about Lindsey. So Lindsey, was quite irritated because Scott had went through her stuff. She tried to have a conversation with this mofo last week, but he didn't want to hear because he wanted to appear and he was better than her, and that he was just, shorty, good guy, and, just a straight whatever. So Lindsey had already told this mofo, you know what, I'm going to go ahead on and start sneaking through your, okay, and see what you about. So Lindsey decides to go into an office space where there's a desk and some information, bitch, and she turns on the laptop and she's able to see, what's on there. Now, I don't know why ain't no password on there, but you know what, then again, even if it was a password, most people share their passwords. I share mine with my daughter, but I don't think my daughter shares her with me. I just realized that. Do I know the password to her laptop? Okay, let me not make this about me. So anyway, she's in the office and she's starting to, go through paperwork and go through the computer. And so she goes through the computer and she sees every photo of her that she has ever posted. This obsessive mother has downloaded on the computer. And she was like, no wonder the computer is slow. Then she goes on there and she looks at another file, an application on there. And this mofo appears to have some secret cameras and video tracking devices on that ass in the house. This mofo is crazy as I don't know what. Then she starts going through and finding delinquent bills that this bitch ain't even paid, right? Now, y'all know he indicated that he was a rich mofo and that he had got uprooted his whole life to come and, live, to move from New York, to move to Mississippi just to be there for her ass, right? And so, he had been dating her, 2 years while she was in prison. You know what I'm saying? But we had already figured out from when he went to go and pick her up from the airport the first time when she didn't show up and he was with the limo driver. He swiped that mofo card and that card was like, hell no, don't play with me. You know it ain't but $10 in here, bitch. I'm gonna have to call you out. Insufficient funds, mother. Okay? So we had already known this mofo had to take another credit card, swipe that one, right? And that one went through. And so, the little black guy was like, all right, then I'm going to take you to the airport. Got to the airport, Second time, he couldn't even afford the limo. He came up there in a little red pickup truck, okay? And I ain't talking about a cute red one. So we already knew that the jig was up on this mofo, right? But we didn't know it to this extent. She started finding all kinds of delinquent bills. Not only did she find delinquent bills, she found a rental agreement. Yes, this mother don't even own the house that they are staying in. This lying, booty lip looking mother is renting the house. I would have ran outside butt naked backwards, bitch, for a whole hour waiting for him to get home. Soon as you get home. Are you serious? auntie. Mm-hmm. I sure am. This mofo is renting the house. That's why he didn't do the renovations in it. That's why she goes in there and finds duplicate copies of letters that she has been sending back and forth to people. She says she received a letter a week ago from her old boyfriend. That was in the drawer. Then she had another one where she was, doing Morse code and all kinds of stuff through the cell bars, and he even had that. But that ain't the kicker. That ain't even a kicker, y'all. This mofo crazy. He got cameras in the house. He is renting the house. He got delinquent bills that's behind. He done stole her letters. Like this, and that ain't even it. That ain't even the worst of it. You ready for it? Here you go. She goes down into a drawer. She pulls the drawer open, right? She opens up the drawer and she looks in this mofo and she finds an old cell phone. Yeah, an old iPhone. She takes that mofo, plugs it up in the wall, and waits for it to charge up so she can go head on and see what's on that mofo. She opens it up and it, gets up and she starts going through the text messages. Again, why he ain't got nothing password protected. But okay. She starts reading through there and there is a text message between him and a lady of the night. Where he didn't answer this lady of the night's Craigslist ad. He said, hey, are you an escort? She said, yeah. He said, do I have to have, do you give up the nanani, or you just doing a car wash? Are you just, swabbing the knob? Yeah. So she was like, oh no, $150, I got you. He said, okay then, where's your address? She said, my address is X, Y, and Z. If you take a taxi here, she said, I'm going to charge you $150. I'm going to give you the best that you ever had in your life. But I'm going to take $10 off if you take a taxi over here. I give you a $10, a 1% discount. Or not even a 1%. But I'm going to give you a $10 discount. He said, bitch, I'm on my way. Then she goes through and she sees all kinds of naked pictures of the woman. She reading through the text messages of all this dialogue he's been having with not only her, but other women. And he's so dumb that he leaves it in his drawer. Now, I don't know how real this is, okay, because it says, I've been an Apple user. As soon as that phone, 10 seconds go, that lock is on it. So how did she get past the lock? Now, maybe it was a LG. Life is good, but his life ain't good. Maybe it was another phone, but I'm telling you right now, 10 seconds and you're joined on lockdown if it's an iPhone. So I don't know where she found the charger at or whatever, but whatever the case was, she was able to get into that phone. And this mofo been dealing with the ladies of the nights and the ladies of the days, the ladies around the corner, the ladies with the... And he willingly and knows that these are the kind of women. And she said that there were pictures going back and forth between these bitches. So here the millionaire The man who, because the girl, when she responded to him, she said, "Is this the millionaire?" Honey, you should have did a pretty woman. Not 150, 1,500. If he's a millionaire, 10,000. 10,000, you can spend a night. He's a millionaire. And he's a millionaire going for women who doing 150 worth of, he's so damn low class. So here it is. She got all of this stuff. She been incarcerated, but his life worse than hers. Because he don't know this cotton freaking woman from the Craigslist. And maybe that's why his lip like that. So this mofo is sitting up there. Done been cheating on her the whole time. And his lip like that. Don't you know when that girl saw him come up in there like that? She probably was like, he ain't gonna be able to eat it that good. You know, I'm talking about ice cream. He ain't gonna be able to lick the cone the way I'm gonna need him to lick no cone with his mouth like that and it's all reddish. Sorry. Pull back, auntie. Pull back. This ain't worth jack. Do y'all hear me? And she calls her girlfriend. She sure did. Called Tinkerbell. She called Tinkerbell and was like, "Tinkerbell, this bitch broke." Tinkerbell said, "I don't even know what to say." She said, "Tinkerbell, can you come over here? I need you, Tinkerbell." Let me tell you something. I can't wait to see next Friday's episode to see how he talk and back foot and backpedal his way up out of this. Y'all tell me down in the comments section. This is the end of my review of Love After Lockup, Season 2, Episode 22, Big Daddy is Home. Let me know what you all think about this. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. You all have a great night, and I will talk to you all soon. Love you.